Welcome to Cheater's Diary, where we dive deep into the messy truth of infidelity. We explore raw stories of cheating, affairs, relationship trauma, and the painful aftermath of a broken heart. You won't want to miss a moment. Stay glued.
Welcome to the deep dive. We're jumping straight in today, looking at a really complex story. It's about personal betrayal, but also massive corporate systemic injustice.
Yeah, it centers on figures, Chloe Davis, a journalist, and Elijah Reed, an architect.
And our goal here really is to unpack how things like ideology, inherited wealth, how they can be weaponized.
We're digging into the mechanisms, things like architectural violence, financial corruption, stuff that was hidden, actually, behind what looked like a perfect partnership.
Right, because publicly they seem like this power couple fighting injustice, a real ideological fusion, you could say.
Dazzling, even. But then, well, the facade cracks. Chloe finds evidence of an affair. Not just any affair, though.
Okay, yeah. The sources mentioned she found this high-end perfume vial hidden away. Definitely not hers. That's the trigger.
That's the immediate trigger. But the who is crucial. The affair was with Anna Martell.
Anna Martell, senior legal counsel for the Concord Group, the very corporation they were supposedly challenging.
Exactly. Yeah. And it gets worse. The sources are clear. This wasn't random. Elijah was deliberately hired by Concord.
Hired? For what?
To be their, and this is the term they used, their diversity shield for a big project, the Phase 2 rollout.
A diversity shield. So basically using his identity to give them ethical cover.
Pretty much. Managing their public image. So his personal betrayal wasn't just personal, it was professional. A betrayal of everything they supposedly stood for.
Wow. Okay. So discovering he's sleeping with the opposition's lawyer must have been clarifying for Chloe. How does she go from finding perfume to, well, uncovering the bigger picture?
She seems to operate with this, cold clarity once the shock hits. She finds an encrypted drive hidden in his office.
An encrypted drive and the password.
This is the really chilling part. The password they apparently shared was post-racial myth 34.
Wait. Post-racial myth 34. Shared.
Shared. And the irony is just brutal because the data on that drive, it confirmed the company was using algorithmic racism in its community planning.
So the password itself mocked the very thing he claimed to fight while the drive proved it was real. And wasn't that drive connected to her own work?
It was. It contained the Aurora data. That was Chloe's own deep investigative research. He didn't just betray her personally, he stole her work.
Why? I mean, beyond the affair, why steal her data?
It seems it ties back to family. Generational pressure? The sources point to blackmail.
Blackmail? By who?
Simon Vance, the CEO of Concord Group, he threatened to expose a dark family secret. That Elijah's own father, Councilman Reed, was behind a coded racist law back in 1968.
A foundational family lie. So Elijah traded Chloe's work, her data, to protect his family's name.
That appears to be the calculation. A terrible choice. And trading integrity for, well, a tainted legacy.
Okay, let's connect this back to the architectural violence idea. How does that 1968 law play into the physical structures?
Right, so that specific rezoning law led directly to decades of neglected infrastructure, specifically water pipes, in marginalized areas.
Deferred maintenance.
Exactly. And Elijah, apparently wrestling with guilt, discovers this neglect created unstable soil conditions right under Vance's new luxury tower project.
The one he was working on.
Yes. The building used this advanced dynamic foundation anchor system, but it was completely compromised by the unstable ground. The potential for physical collapse was real, a direct consequence, years later, of that racist law his family instituted.
So the systemic injustice literally destabilized the physical foundation, but there was more, wasn't there? It wasn't just about a potentially collapsing building.
Not at all. The scope just explodes here. The final piece comes from Elijah's mother, Mabel, her ledger.
Her ledger, what did it show?
It laid out the ultimate criminal scheme. Vance was using a shell company, Aurora Holdings.
Aurora, like Chloe's data.
Precisely. Using that shell company to launder billions in sanctioned funds from the Kachin National Trust, the KNT.
KNT. That's geopolitical level stuff. So this wasn't just local corruption.
No, it was international money laundering, hiding behind this shiny skyscraper project. The stakes were huge.
So, the reckoning. How did it all come down?
Chloe publishes her investigation. She calls it the Gilded fault line. It exposes everything. The compromised tower, the money laundering, the racist computer rules, as the sources put it.
And Elijah.
He provides a full confession, cooperates fully. He was arrested, served 6 months in prison, lost his career, his reputation, everything.
While Chloe wins the Pulitzer Prize for her reporting. A huge professional victory, but the personal cost.
Immense. And the sources highlight this final, really stark moral choice she makes. A year later, Elijah asks to meet. She refuses. Her reported reasoning was just brutal. She said he was just the sacrifice needed to fix the city.
Wow. Just the sacrifice. That leaves us with a really tough question, doesn't it?
It does.
When you're fighting these massive systemic injustices, can you ever fully separate the personal betrayals woven into them? And is that kind of absolute sacrifice, like Chloe arguably made, the only path to real change, to redemption? Something for you to think about.
That's the breakdown of this week's chilling story from the diary. While we wait for the full movie to drop, if this kept you on the edge of your seat, smash that like button, share this video, and be sure to subscribe so you never miss another confession. We've got more jaw-dropping, real-life stories coming your way. Stay tuned.